Hello everyone. Today I am presenting an article review of Johann Galtung's 1969 work Violence, Peace and Peace Research published in the Journal of Peace Research. Johann Galtung is a Norwegian sociologist and one of the most influential figures in peace studies. He founded the Peace Research Institute Oslo and has shaped the field through his work on structural violence, conflict resolution, and non-violent transformation. The article was written during the Cold War, when peace was narrowly understood as simply the absence of war. Most scholarship focused on military competition between states. Galtung challenges this limited thinking. He argues that peace research must look beyond wars and understand the everyday structures that enable or prevent human well being. This context is crucial. The article is an intellectual attempt to shift peace research from a state centric discipline to a more human centered and justice oriented perspective. Galtung's purpose in this article is to expand the definition of both violence and peace. He argues that if we only study wars or physical harm, we ignore invisible but equally harmful social processes. So, the article aims to build scientific holistic framework for understanding peace that includes social, economic, political, and cultural structures. Before moving into concepts, let me briefly summarize the article. Galtung begins by questioning traditional definition of peace and violence. He argues that violence is not just an act but also a condition created by unequal social structures. He identified different forms of violence and shows how they interact. He then introduces the term negative peace and positive peace, explaining why the latter is essential for long term social harmony. The article ultimately proposes that peace research should move beyond conflict analysis and include structural analysis, social justice, and human development. A Galtung distinction between negative and positive peace is the core contribution of this article. Negative peace simply means the absence of direct violence, for example, no war, but this does not mean society is just or fair. Positive peace, on the other hand, means the presence of justice, equality, and supportive social structures. In positive peace, people have access to opportunities, rights, and dignity. This shift from absence of war to presence of justice changed the direction of peace research. After reviewing the article, I find several notable strengths: theoretical depth, conceptual clarity, relevance across disciplines, long term applicability. Overall, the article conceptual innovation is its biggest strength. However, the article also has some limitations: limited empirical evidence, vague operationalization, Western centric perspectives. Despite these weaknesses, the article theoretical contribution outweighs its limitations. The most impressive aspect of Galtung's work is its relevance today. Structural violence is visible in poverty, gender inequality, caste discrimination, healthcare gaps, climate injustice, and economic disparities. Organizations like the UN and Global Peace Index now use indicators based on positive peace, including good governance, social cohesion, low corruption, and human rights. This shows that Galtung's ideas are not just theoretically important, they guide real world policy making. To conclude, Galtung's 1969 article remains foundational because it transforms peace from a narrow political idea into a holistic human condition. Through this review, I found that positive peace is essential for sustainable development, social well being, and long term stability. As long as structural inequality continues to shape societies, Galtung's ideas will continue to guide both scholars and policymakers. Thank you.